Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns, as well as surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this film that a lot of people are very excited to see are all the different connections to the prequels and the originals and the various cameos that are set to make an appearance in this movie in order to fulfill the Skywalker saga and to really end things on a good note for a majority of Star Wars fans around the world by JJ. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and what's really intriguing has all to do with the character of Han Solo, and of course, actor Harrison Ford himself. Now, specifically, it's described that reshoots are set to begin during the last week of April until the end of June for certain sequences that need some changes connected to the main characters, as well as the space battle sequences. However, it's said that Harrison Ford is set to shoot a sequence during the month of May for a scene where he will be providing new dialogue where new dialogue is needed to fulfill the scene. He will interact with Kylo Ren in the form of a vision, as it's said that specific dialogue is needed for the sequence. It's described that the scene was partially filmed in a way to be used with unused footage of Han Solo from The Force Awakens. However, Harrison will be back on set during the month of May for a brief sequence. It's currently unclear if he will also be providing new scenes for the flashbacks as well. However, he will be providing new dialogue and a fresh new appearance in the form of a vision in front of Kylo Ren. It's described that the shoot will take 2 days to film and that there is talk that Adam Driver will be back to do additional shots. It's described that the set takes place within Kylo Ren's chambers on board of a First Order destroyer. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this is all the more exciting. Now, first things first, alright, when we learned about Ian McDiarmid coming back for Star Wars Episode 9 for the character of Emperor Palpatine, everybody was very happy about that. You know, first we heard the laughter of Emperor Palpatine, then we waited a couple of hours for J.J. Abrams to confirm that Palpatine is indeed back in this movie and will be portrayed by Ian himself. And now there's a lot of talk that Han Solo being portrayed by Harrison Ford on set this May is actually happening between both, of course, you know, J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio putting together these big scenes that will be used in a way in order to create emotional moments for the character of Kylo Ren in Star Wars Episode 9. So, what's really great about this, and this is honestly very surprising because to this day, you know, we do know that there were negotiations in place in order to get Harrison Ford back for Star Wars Episode 9, and he kept saying no, and he kept shooting it down on and off from what we have been hearing. But now, since reshoots are set to begin this week, during the last week of April until the end of June, they're going to be using a lot of that in a way, they're going to be using that as a way of advantage in order to really fulfill some of the scenes that were either partially shot or scenes that need some changing here and there. And one of the scenes that do need some changing is, of course, a scene between both Kylo Ren and Han Solo where fresh new dialogue is needed for the character. Now, like I say, if Harrison Ford is indeed back for this sequence, in which he is, it really does raise the question, is he going to come back for sequences that involve the flashbacks between a younger Ben Solo and a younger Luke Skywalker and stuff like that? That's a huge question open on the table for discussion, but nonetheless, I will say that this movie really seems like that they are trying to make up for what was done with The Last Jedi. Now, if you guys like The Last Jedi, that's fine, but I think it's pretty safe to say that more than half of the fan base has an issue with that movie. You know, when we look at Star Wars as a whole and where things are going with that movie, you know, we do know that a lot of changes were made to the Star Wars lore and especially to the character of Luke Skywalker. Now, with that being said, guys, the fact that they are bringing back Emperor Palpatine, Han Solo, and a ton of other characters from the prequels and the originals, you can only imagine, you know, what is running through the minds over at Disney, Lucasfilm, and even J.J. Abrams as a director and a writer. And this would also explain as to why there were a lot of script changes during the month of December of 2018 in order to change certain elements of the movie and the overall tone, as well as pieces of the ending of the film. Nonetheless, guys, it is really great to hear that Harrison Ford is back and that he will be providing new scenes that will actually have new dialogue and, of course, new visuals for the character of Han Solo, interacting with Adam Driver as Kylo Ren inside of his chambers on board of a First Order finalizer. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.